Hello, welcome back to my channel. One of my girls had the idea that I should show you my card collection, so I chose to do it here. Welcome to our game table. I don't know about you, maybe you don't have room for a game table. I know I didn't for most of my life, and then when I moved into this house, I actually thought, oh my goodness, I have room for a game table. So I went to, at the time, my favorite consignment furniture store, and back in the corner room of this store, I walked in and it was like a beam from heaven shining down on this table. It's not much. I have no idea even what it's made out of. It's just a simple wood circular table, but I love the legs. It actually has little tiny wheels on it, not that we ever wheel it around. And of course, lots of other things happen at this table. Sometimes the girls do their schoolwork. Sometimes we actually eat our dinner here. But the game table, nevertheless, is what it's called. So over the years, I have been collecting decks of cards. Mainly I use them as a souvenir for the children if I go away. And then as people found out about my little obsession with decks of cards, people have given them to me as gifts. So I thought I would share with you my collection. It's not vast. We don't really do a ton of traveling, but when we do, I find that a deck of cards is a nice souvenir. It's small. If you want to travel light, you don't want to be hauling a big, huge amount of souvenirs home with you. Deck of cards fits nicely in your carry-on bag. Now, how did it start? Well, this is the set that started it off. It was back in 2004. My husband and then two small sons and I had vacation with my side of the family in Fenwick Island, Delaware. At the time, I was absolutely obsessed with the idea of Cape May, New Jersey. I had never been to Cape May, New Jersey, but I was set on going. I really wanted to see Cape May. I had heard about all of the beautiful Victorian style homes. So I talked my husband into making a quick side trip to Cape May when our vacation at the beach was over. So what we did was we took the Cape May Lewis ferry, which leaves from Lewis, Delaware and goes to Cape May, New Jersey, and then took it back again. On the way there on the ferry, it was quite rocky. The water was, what would you say? How do you say that about water? I want to say billowing, but that's like a cloud. But you get the picture. It was a gray, cloudy day, stormy. The waters were a bit choppy, and the ferry was rocking a great deal. Now, thankfully, I do not get seasick. Thankfully, at the time, neither did my husband nor my two young sons. However, what I did get was very afraid because I'm not that strong of a swimmer, and being out in the middle of a body of water like that where the boat is rocking so much was a bit frightful. We actually had started off the trip on the very top level, and when we started and it was that rocky, I said, oh no, we need to go lower, because I just felt like being lower in the boat would be a little bit more secure. It's probably a silly reasoning. We actually saw the captain on the elevator on our way from the top level down to the lower level. And he said, oh, this is nothing. It's been much worse than this. That to say, to kind of bring some comfort, get my mind off of the rocking ship, my husband went to the gift shop or the souvenir shop there on the ferry and bought this set of cards, which says Cape May Lewis Ferry and has a picture of the ferry so that we could play, cards. I think at the time, the only thing the boys really knew was Go Fish, but it was fine. We played Go Fish. What I love about it is it comes in this nice case. I think it's the only set of cards I have that are in this nice case. So here we go. These cards are 20 years old, meant to be a diversion from fear. And this was the start of my collection. Now, can I tell you the exact order that they came in? No, I cannot. I will say though, I think roughly the ones that came next would be these two. And they're both National Geographic. One is National Geographic Culture playing cards. The box is a little bit beat up. I don't as much anymore now that my younger kids have gotten older, but back when I had more kids that were younger, I often had a deck of cards in my purse or the diaper bag or something. That way, if we were anywhere like a restaurant waiting for our meal or a coffee shop or something, I could pull out a deck of cards. So it just has all different renowned sites around the world. Here's the Sydney Opera House. So the children could learn places, see places, whilst having the fun of playing cards. My favorite game has become Rummy. So if anybody wants to play cards with me, that's usually what they're going to play. The National Geographic Expeditions, again, the box is a bit beat up because I probably carried this with me. So this one gives places around the world and then a little bit of information about it. I don't have my reading glasses nearby, so I cannot even begin to tell you one thing about them because I can't see. There we go. National Geographic Expeditions. I guess it's just people who explored different places and the year that they did it. So another learning opportunity whilst playing a game, which if you are a homeschool mom or know of a homeschool mom, you know that we like to turn everything into a learning opportunity, including games, vacation, extracurricular activities, you name it, we do it. Here's probably my most recent deck. Actually, no, this is probably tied my most recent decks given to me this year. So I've never been to the Cotswolds, but as you know, I'm an Anglophile and I'm looking forward to going. It's a dream trip to the Cotswolds. My aunt knows that I love the Cotswolds and want to go there. And so she gave me this set of cards and I am keeping it really in good condition. So the box is still mint condition. Oh, here's a cute shop. So there's that one. And then while I have had the privilege, I will say it's a privilege, to travel to Switzerland many years ago, I did not go this year, but my husband got to take a trip this year for a men's retreat. And this was the souvenir that he brought back for me because he knows that I like to collect cards. So this is a nice, beautiful set. If you've ever been to Zurich, you know how posh everything is. And I feel like these cards reflect the poshness of Zurich. But they feel like, I mean, they're really thick and kind of smooth and shiny. So they just feel super, like good quality. Just completely posh is what I would call these cards. There's one place that I went to on my own a couple of years ago for a girls' trip, and that was to the Hershey Spa, which was so nice. And so in the Hershey Hotel, and actually I'm drinking out of my, it's called the Hotel Hershey. I'm drinking out of my Hotel Hershey cup today. I got this set of cards as a souvenir for my children, which this is the quintessential Hershey's chocolate bar. And I think that's all the cards look like. It's just a chocolate bar on the front and then just normal cards on the back. So that's those. Oh, here's another gift. I've never been to Nantucket, but I'm dying to go. And one of my sons is a wedding videographer, and he does quite a few weddings in Nantucket. And because he knows I want to go, he brought these back to me as a souvenir. I love those, especially because I know that he thought about me. A couple of years ago, we went to Disney. Oh, here, I said this was in a hard case and none of the other ones were. Look, the Disney one, I took it out of the packaging and sure enough, it's in a hard case. We went to Disney and this was one of our souvenirs. Of course, because I had to get the cards. So that's that. Let's see, all of the children have been to Boston for a trip, but I think that might have been before I started collecting cards. So last year, for my oldest daughter's senior trip, we went to Boston for a couple of days and went to the Museum of Art and to the Isabella Stewart, what's it called? The Isabella Stewart Gardner Stewart Museum. Look it up. We'll put a link down below if we can think of it. Or maybe Maybe we can write what it is across the bottom of the screen. Anywho, while we were there, I decided to get these. We went to the Boston Tea Party souvenir shop, and I found these cards, which is just a skyline conglomeration of Boston. Now, a number of years ago, we went on vacation. I'd always wanted to go to Acadia, and we finally got there. I forget, let me think what year. 2016. And so, of course, I got Acadia National Parks cards, which are just a beautiful scenery shot on the cover. And then the inside does have shots from all over the park. Okay, I gotta go back to Acadia now that's settled it for me. Okay, a couple of years ago, we took a road trip to Boston. My oldest daughter at the time was dreaming of being a Formula One race car driver. So for her 16th birthday, my husband wanted to take her to the Formula One race in Austin, and the rest of us got to drive along with them and then do a little bit of sightseeing in Austin while they were at the race. On the way, we had to make a couple of stops because of the far drive, and I discovered that we'd be going through Memphis. Well, years ago, when my boys were young, I read a picture book about these ducks that they have at a hotel in Memphis. And if you don't know anything about that, look that up. If I can find the title of that picture book, I'll put that down below. But the historic hotel is called the Peabody. And so sure enough, here on the cards, they have a picture of the duck. And so every day they have what's called the Duck March. So I don't know if you can see, there's a fountain, right here's the fountain, and then a red carpet. And so every morning they march the ducks down the elevator, out the elevator, across the red carpet, and then into the fountain. And then all day they just swim around. And then in the evening, around 5 o'clock, they have what's called the Duck March. And there's a duck master who's all dressed up in regalia and has a gold staff. And they march the ducks back down the red carpet and up the elevator to the duck penthouse. And oh, that was a treat. We absolutely love that. The Peabody is also famous because of, the music scene. Elvis, of course, was a big hit in Memphis. And a shop that he had frequented, whose name I can't think of now, wasn't originally in the Peabody. It was somewhere else down the street in Memphis, but now it is in the, not necessarily the lobby of the Peabody, but it's part of the Peabody Hotel. So if you go there, and if you're an Elvis fan, you get to see all of this Elvis souvenirs. And then in one part of the store, the walls are just lined with guitars that are signed from all different famous guitarists. So that was really neat. That was a complete special treat. Oh, here's one of my favorite places on earth, Skytop Lodge. My husband took me here for the first time in 2019, I think it was. It was actually his birthday trip, but he surprised me with the location. And when we pulled in, I actually got misty-eyed over the beauty of this inn. It is an inn that is Dutch colonial style stone inn, built in the 1920s, and built all with stone, Pennsylvania stone from the surrounding area, the land that the hotel was built on. And it's just magnificent. It's located in the Poconos. So if you ever have a chance to go to Skytop Lodge, don't turn it down. So that's where I got these cards. And you can tell they're a set that I carry around often because the box is completely destroyed. Now, January of this year, I made a road trip down to Florida by myself. I drove there and back again. It wasn't for a happy reason, though. It was for my dear uncle's funeral. But it was a neat experience to drive that far to and from by myself. So, of course, I had to get oranges because January is orange season in Florida. I brought back a bag of oranges, and I'd stopped at this roadside stand. It was the cutest little thing. If we're able, I'll put a picture of the sign from the road of this orange stand. So I went in, and it was everything oranges. So, of course, I had to get a deck of cards for my girls that say Florida, the Sunshine State. The backside are just normal. And I think that brings me to the last one, which is are a nearby hometown, Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I don't think I bought these myself though. I think these were a gift from one of my sons. And interestingly, while the front shows a lovely picture of Williamsport, the cards do not. So they're just kind of basic looking cards. But I cherish them nonetheless because they were a nice gift. And so that's it. If you, like me, love to play rummy, if you, like me, like to travel, like to pick up a little thing, and you don't already have a card collection, I might suggest you start one. I want to put a plug in for a local candle store in Williamsport, Pennsylvania called Miles Welby. And all of their candles go along with that saying. So this one is Miles Welby, be in the Pennsylvania wilds. This was a gift from one of my sons. So if you're ever in Williamsport, Pennsylvania on 4th Street, near the intersection of 4th and William, check out Miles Welby. This isn't sponsored, but hey, maybe the proprietor of Miles Welby will want to be a sponsor someday in the future. This is my outfit of the day because I'm not going in anywhere and it's a cold, chilly day. I just have on a turtleneck, which I adore, and I have a slew of them. I got them years ago so that I could have one in every color from Land's End. I guess that doesn't really make sense. I got them from Land's End years ago so that I could have one in every color. Then I have this sweater, which I adore this color. It's kind of a mustardy color. Nice and warm and cozy. I love the big collar. I have no idea what the brand is, but I thrifted it with just a pair of comfortable jeans and these lovely slippers, which my mother-in-law was kind enough to give me. My earrings, I'll tell you, I've had since I was in, you won't believe this, junior high. They're Cloyson. They have a unicorn on them. And whilst I'm not necessarily a person who goes around spouting the virtues of the unicorn, I do still hold on to these earrings for sentimental reasons. And every once in a while when I wear something that kind of goes along with that color scheme, I'll throw them on. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me today, and you take good care. Cheers to you.